Hi, I'm Philip. I'm a co-founder here at SalesWings, and I'm excited to introduce you to our Toolbox, which is a versatile companion for sales, marketing, and data ops, and of course, Salesforce admins. It's a Salesforce native solution, which is really able to solve a range of critical things for you in your Salesforce org, and I'd like to introduce you today to 4 use cases. First of all, you can score or grade any of your Salesforce records across the board. Essentially, anything you want to rank, anything you want to qualify, that is a first use case how our customers are using it. The second one is that you can actually clean your data for AI data readiness, but of course also for sales operations, sales prospecting, and Salesforce reporting. Thirdly, you can segment and group Salesforce records, such as leads or accounts, etc., which is then also useful for reporting or segmentation for marketing. Fourth, I will show you today how you could leverage the Salesforce toolbox for assignment and routing of your leads or your accounts based on specific criteria. And I want to mention here that the Salesforce Toolbox will work with any of your objects, whether it's standard objects or related objects, and it doesn't count against your flows. It doesn't use any of your credits in your org. It's really a great solution that scales, even if you have millions of records in your database. Let's have a quick look at scoring and grading with the Salesforce Toolbox. Companies using rigorous lead prioritization processes have reported conversion rates nearly 4 times higher than average. So you see how important it is that your leads, contacts, accounts, but also your opportunities are properly prioritized by your sales team. And this is really easy with the Salesforce toolbox. I'm going to show you how this looks. First of all, as I highlighted, SalesWings is a Salesforce native application, and here you can see your configuration screen. Any workflow, anything you're doing, you can neatly organize in your folders here. And I'd like to show you now how you could score your opportunities to rank them in an ideal manner for your sales reps. First of all, you're going to create what we call a rule set. You're going to choose the target object where you want to do an operation, and then the target field that you want to modify. So here on the opportunity record, we have a field called SalesWings Opportunity Fit, where we're going to prioritize opportunities based on different criteria. Below, you're going to be defining your rules. Rules essentially are defined by Salesforce reports. So we're going to give points when opportunities are in final stages, when they're closing very soon, when they have high opportunity amounts, etc. And behind it, as I highlighted, are simply Salesforce reports. So it makes it really easy for you to manage the toolbox. Here we have an opportunity report, and we're seeing that any amount opportunity of $10,000 plus, we would be considering a top amount. So here's how this works. I'm going to pick this particular rule. So I'm going to edit this rule. Essentially, in this screen, I'm going to give the specific rule a name. I'm going to select the reports for the opportunities that meet this criteria. And then I'm going to decide, well, here I'm going to increase the points by 3. And what do we get in the end? I will show you here a opportunity prioritization report. We see a list of our opportunities. And here we can see this field, opportunity grade, which then ultimately ranks all the opportunities by best fit and strongest criteria. Again, you can do this for all of your records, for leads, for contacts and accounts. There's really no limits. And you could even score, for example, a lead because it's part of a campaign or because there's a related object that matches, that is linked to this particular record. Let's move on to the next use case, data cleaning for AI data readiness. So you can harmonize and normalize your data in your Salesforce org for personalization purposes, reporting, or as we said, for Agentforce and other AI use cases. Personalization, I want to point out, for example, you're going to use your Salesforce fields as variables in sales emails or marketing emails for personalization, but often field data is a mess. Here we have an example. Picture you have a lot of contacts and data is coming into your Salesforce org from forms, maybe with free text, and then there's data providers, and you end up with a range of different field values in a specific field, such as US, United States, USA for countries, but you want to put everything in a specific format. And bear in mind, so here's an impressive statistic, 55% of organizations reported they are avoiding certain generative AI use cases due to data-related concerns. So Toolbox is a great tool that allows you to solve for some of that in a truly easy way. I'm going to go back now to the Toolbox. Here we can see that I've created, for this use case I've described, a rule set which is targeting the contact record and notably the mailing country field. So this is a straightforward one. So here we have a report defined and the target value will be United States. So I'll show you this one more time. So we have a name. We're going to pick the report where all these records with values that I want to normalize are in it. And I'm going to define the target value, which will be set for all these contacts. And I'm going to show you now this report. So here we have this particular report, and it's going to place a range of contact records with different country names into this report. And you will see, of course, that the result then is that any of your records are then going to be normalized so that you can use that for AI, for segmentation reporting, or for personalization through variables in your marketing and sales campaigns. Let's move on to the next use case, which is that you can actually group critical fields for easier reporting and dashboards. So based on the criteria and the reports that you're creating, you can then change field values in other fields, as I said, for segmentation or to group. The example I'm going to show you is all of us have a range of lead sources. There's a webinar, and there's maybe a demo request, a white paper download, there's like LinkedIn prospecting and more. And let's imagine you want to group all these sources into subgroups so that you can report in a very easy way. Okay, show me marketing sources, show me sales sources. And then when you do reporting, you don't have to every time pick the related lead sources, which leads honestly to a lot of errors. And here, this has been very, very handy for us. I'm going to go back again to the toolbox here. So we see here this rule set lead source grouping. We're going to group all the leads. And the target field is the lead source group. And I want to show you quickly how this looks visually. Here we have a demo lead, Susanna Summer, and essentially we have a wide range of lead sources that we've accumulated over time. Some are marketing, some are sales, or even partner and channel sources. So we want to group these. So we have this lead source grouping field, lead source field, excuse me, and then we have created this lead source group. In the lead source group, we're already changing that into subgroups. And then finally, we're grouping it into marketing, sales, and other, which is essentially channels. So this makes it so easy for us to report. And I'm going to show you one of these. So we have, for instance, the offline events. Here we have selected a report where all the leads fall in with a lead source related to an offline event, and we're then setting the target value events offline. So whether this is Dreamforce or a Braze event or an ABM conference or you name it. And that report you can see here. Here's some examples. So we have, for example, different conferences, or other data points. So all these records come from these offline events and are then grouped accordingly. Let's move on to our final example. And I do want to mention here that Salesforce Ben considers that the most important thing for management teams is that they need to gain reliable reports and insights from these reports. So we make this a whole lot easier if you have a lot of values in specific areas. And you can just abstract this a little bit. So of course, you can also use this for segmentation. If you have, for example, 5, 6 segments, and you want to segment records, accounts, or else into a specific segment. The final use case here is lead or contact assignment or account assignment and routing. And these are honestly just examples. So there's so many things that we've seen our customers do. In this example, we imagine that we have a lead, we have an industry, for example, financial services in Canada, more than 100 employees, and they're sales ready because we have a behavioral score of plus 50. And at that moment, we want to assign that lead to a specific rep. Now, lead routing is key. So Cognism says lead routing ensures that your potential customers get timely responses. This targeted approach also optimizes the allocation of resources across the organization. So here again, we have a great solution to help you with that. Here we see this particular rule. So we have sales ready leads, lead routing. We're targeting again the lead in this particular situation, and we want to change the owner ID. And I want to show you the report first. So in fact, we've created a report, lead routing, Canada sales ready. So this is a demo report. Here we imagine, well, if they're in Canada, lead score is greater than something, number of employees is higher than 100. And as I highlighted, of course, you could use any sort of filtering that you'd like. And again, remember, you could also use related objects and related reports to these leads to make these important decisions. And here, I'm just going to show you how this is set up. It's really easy. So I'm going to give it a name. These are sales ready Canada leads. Let's say financial services. I'm going to select the report, which has all these leads in. And then I'm going to set the lead owner, and I can pick from the users that I'd like. In summary, SalesWings Toolbox for Salesforce is a really versatile tool for sales marketing and data ops and Salesforce admins to get a lot of the tedious jobs done inside Salesforce and take your organization to the next level. Thank you very much. I wish you a fantastic day, and do reach out to us if you have any questions.